Welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about gratitude.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hey, welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about honoring your husband or wife. Obviously, in my case, it's going to be honoring my wife in the form of gratitude. What sprung this on? Well, number one, I don't know jack about parenting comes from, and a lot of my thoughts come from my business. And for those of you who don't know, and this is probably around episode 65, and I don't know that I've ever mentioned what I do outside of helping to empower parents with some of my own thoughts, but it's I am a coach. I help people really formulate what it is they want out of their life. We map that out, and then we create a plan, and then we work towards it. Is the plan ever perfect? No plan's ever perfect. However, always continually striving for what it is we desire out of this life, truly desire, and working towards it. It's called a life of purpose and intent. So I help people do that. So I like to think I do that in my parenting. My ultimate goal is to have the respect of my adult children. And if I make daily choices and I'm grateful for what I have, and I teach my kids to make good daily choices and to be grateful for what they have, I believe that everything else will fall into place. Now, having said that, gratitude, being in a place of gratitude, and I'll talk about this in another episode, which I believe that parenting is a team sport. And anytime you lose a member of the team, it's that much harder to win. So in order to keep our spouses happy, that's ladies honoring your partner, men honoring your partner. That should be the number one relationship outside of God, if you have faith, that you should be honoring. Because if you honor your wife, men, and she honors you, the parenting thing becomes a little bit easier. And the way I like to do this, or one of the ways I like to do this, is to be in gratitude and to share with my wife each and every single day. I do it via email because I'm on my computer and I know she's on hers, and to email her 5 things that I'm grateful for her on a daily basis. One of those things, and I'll go through a list of gratitude right now. It may seem very simple, but I do this every day. Today I am grateful that I have a wife who plays her part in our relationship in regards to the kids. I don't realize how amazing my wife is at being a mother sometimes until I witness someone else's parenting skills. And I am just grateful that she loves our kids. She wants the best for our kids. And not only that, she's equipped herself with the tools to be a great mom. So that's one. Number 2, I'm grateful that she keeps our house a certain way. Gentlemen, we are very simple creatures for the most part. I could probably live under a bridge and be completely content. I don't personally need a ton of material things. I like material things, don't get me wrong. However, they just, if somebody said, hey, what do you want to do this weekend? The last thing I'm probably going to say is, I want to go to a football game. Or if you had a year to do anything, what would it be? I would say be perfectly content spending time with my family. We could do some traveling and stuff and experience things together, but I'm not out buying cars and yachts and all that other stuff. So I'm grateful that my wife makes our house and keeps our house beautiful. And as soon as I think we're done, she finds a new project for me, which keeps me on my toes, but more importantly, it keeps our home feeling warm and fresh and inviting all the time. Number 3, I'm grateful that my wife is excellent at her profession and has been recognized as so. There's a sense of, again, things I take for granted. Both of us are this way. There's a sense of security knowing that, I don't want to say she's indispensable at work, but she is highly valued at work and makes a great living. And because of those things, there's a sense of stability. I'll digress a little bit here. In my coaching, something I strive, we begin with the end in mind. What I strive with my clients is, and I tell them, so I want your life to be so predictable that it's boring. And then we get to choose what we spruce our life up with. You have to go have fancy dinners or go to concerts or go to those things. But there's no drama because there's a sense of control and purpose and direction in what it is that we're doing in our finances, our career, our relationships, our relationship with our higher power, and all of that, and our health, and all of that is taken care of. It's kind of on autopilot. So there'll be outside forces that affect that, but I'm grateful that those areas in our household are in good standing. I'm grateful that she supports my craziness of these podcasts, my involvement with other fathers, my involvement in the community, my involvement outside of our house, although great inside the house is also great outside of the house. And she shares me with many other people so that I can impact and empower other parents, dads, and most importantly, because I have a big presence in my son's school, the school that my son attends overall and in general. I love that we have lives outside of each other's that we support. We each support. And lastly, I'll hit on that. I am grateful that she keeps busy and has the things that she desires to do outside of our relationship, because as we both grow closer in our relationship, we also grow outside of the relationship and we get to share those successes together. See, those things seem like, oh wow, and as I'm saying it, and that's why I'm in a state of gratitude for it, is probably for some listeners out there say, oh, I wish my spouse would think that way about me or talk that way about me. And I'll tell you, it's not without a lot of practice. It's not without a lot of intentionality. It's not without, there are days where my wife and I are in a disagreement and I struggle with the 5 things that I'm grateful for because the focus is somewhere elsewhere than you know, it's on a disagreement or an argument that we had. But this process of being in gratitude for my wife grounds me and gets me back to why we're together. Again, to have the ultimate respect of our adult children. And you can't have the respect of your adult children if you're always in a place of anger or hate or fear, because ultimately kids feel those things. And if they feel them, guess what? They will be in a state of fear and anger and an uncertainty for themselves. And that's no place for a child to be. So if you're still listening to this and you haven't done so already today, think of 3 things that you're grateful for your spouse for. Take mental note if you're in the car. Jot it down when you get done, or if you're in a place where you could put it in a notepad or on your phone. Think of those things, and this will be awkward if you don't do this in your household. Share them with your spouse. Just say, I want to share something with you today. I don't do this enough. I was listening to a podcast, and I just want to know that I'm grateful for you because of this, this, and this. And whatever the response is, because they're going to be taken aback, if it's anything other than a thank you, like, where is this coming from? What did you do? Just stay calm. Say, I just wanted to share it with you. There could be a tendency that if there isn't a place of gratitude inside the home, where the spouse could be, why are you telling me this now? How come you never share that before? Just stay grounded and know that it's the beginning of a journey of starting to heal. I had a client of mine, husband and wife, who I put them through this exercise yesterday. And at the end, and this is over the phone, at the end, they're in tears of gratitude and happiness because they hadn't heard those words from each other in a long time. And they are in love. So I know you're in love. That's why you got married, or that's why you chose to build a life and a family together. Share with your partner some of the things that you fell in love with and are still in love with, despite some of the craziness that comes along with this parenting journey and some of the disagreements and some of the challenges. Get back to the basics. You know, I don't know jack about parenting, but I do know this. We all have a sense of needing to be loved. And hearing it from the people you love the most impacts us in such a positive way that we can't put a price tag on it. But that goes both ways. We need to hear it, but we also need to deliver it. So deliver it today. I'll see you in the next episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.